Welcome back, Raider Nation and my champions. We're going to go over the recent free agent signings, including the one that's just been announced, Kenyan Drake, formerly of the Arizona Cardinals. Now, I did talk about Yannick Ngakoue in a separate video. I'll put the link in the description below. So we're going to move on to the next signings here. Well, let's start with the newest free agent signing for the Raiders, Kenyan Drake, running back formerly of the Arizona Cardinals. Now, I think he's a true number 2 running back that we haven't had, at least from the past few years, in my opinion. He has a career yards per carry average of 4.5, and he's can basically do it all. He can run, he can catch, he can actually run goal line. He had 10 touchdowns last season. A lot of those were at the goal line. And he's had 50 plus catches last 2 seasons. So I think he can do it all, and I think this is a good reason. Honestly, I like Josh Jacobs, but it seems like he wears down as the season goes on. He kind of starts hard and kind of slows down. I think this would be great for him, not only insurance, but a nice little change of pace back where he can be plugged in. Josh can get a nice breather in, and we don't lose that much, actually. Another good thing about Kenyan is he's pretty durable. He's only missed a total of 3 games in 5 seasons. I think one of those games was his trade from Miami to Arizona, and relatively light tread wear. He's only got a total of 695 rushes for his career in 5 seasons. That's about 140 per. So a lot of tread left. My issue with this is I think we probably overpaid for the guy. They're saying it's 2 years, $11 million, and they're saying with incentives it could go up to $14.5 million, and that would put him up in the top 10 as far as paid running backs. Obviously, he's going to be paid more than Josh Jacobs as well, since Josh is still on his rookie contract. But yeah, I'm not so sure the price was right for us in this one. And this is why I gave this signing a B-. I probably would have given it a B had not the contract been so high. A good running back. I think he can be good for us as a number 2 guy, but I think we overpaid a bit on him. Next guy I want to talk about is John Brown, wide receiver for Buffalo, originally drafted by the Arizona Cardinals. Now, obviously, first and foremost, he's the replacement for Nelson Agholor. He's a little bit smaller, but he's a little bit quicker than Nelson. This guy, based on his film, he can go over the middle, and he does that occasionally, but his bread and butter is lining up at the numbers and doing out routes, curls, and obviously the go routes, the big bomb plays. And I can see him filling that same role as Nelson Agholor did for us there. As far as his injuries, this is a concern for me, to be honest, because he's 30 years old. He was pretty durable the last 2 seasons before until he was getting some nagging lower body injuries. First, a calf injury that he kind of played off and on with in the beginning of the season. Then he went on the IR for an ankle. So obviously that's a big concern for me. And as far as long term, this is a 1-year contract. This really reminds me of the Nelly contract. Almost like a prove it deal. Maybe if he does well, he can get a bigger deal somewhere else next year. I would say obviously he's a rental and a plug-in for Nelson Agholor. And given these reasons, I gave the signing a B. The contract's fine. It's a cheaper version. It's better than paying Agholor $12 million that he got from the Patriots. But this does concern me. I think I probably would have ranked it a little bit higher on the grading, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make a season. Is this where he starts to kind of be injury prone? He's 30 years old, so I'll give it a B. Next guy I want to talk about is Quentin Jefferson, defensive tackle, formerly of the Buffalo Bills, drafted in 2016 by the Seattle Seahawks from the University of Maryland, which means he did play with Yannick Ngakoue in college. He also has the tie, obviously, with John Brown being from Buffalo. And this move was basically interior defensive line depth. So, it's not a great move, not a terrible move. He does have the versatility. He has lined up before off and on as a defensive end. I don't think he has the speed there. He does have the power, but not the speed. But I think as far as film goes, I think he would be best suited to be in that 3 technique as a 4-3 defensive tackle. And right alongside Jonathan Hankins, who we re-signed, Yannick and Max to provide some pressure up the middle. Obviously, 1 year, $3.25 million contract. He's essentially a rental piece for depth. And one between him, Maurice Hurst, David Irving, and the next guy I'm going to talk about that we signed as well is a rotation in the interior defensive. And for that reason, I gave it a C as a grade. Like I said, it's not terrible, it's not great. It makes sense from a team standpoint. Obviously, you need depth, and he can deliver that for us at least for 1 year here. Next guy is another defensive lineman here, and he came from the San Francisco 49ers, Solomon Thomas. Now, I think he was brought in also to provide more interior defensive line depth. He was drafted 3rd overall in the 2017 draft, initially as an edge rusher, and he was moved inside, I think, between Nick Bosa and Armstead, kind of pushed him out of that defensive end spot, moved to DT. Not very impressive. Obviously, as a 3rd overall pick, I would say he was a bust. And then last year he tore his ACL after 2 games. So I think really this is kind of a bit of a dice roll for the team. Obviously, being a 3rd overall pick, he had some talent there. I'm not saying he's the same player, but it kind of reminds me of the move where we picked up Deion Jordan, who was also a 3rd overall pick. He was a little bit bigger than him though, as a edge rusher, selected by Miami. He didn't really pan out, so yeah, we'll see. Like I said, it's a bit of a dice roll for us. And for that reason, I gave this a C minus. One, the issues he's had before, and then coming off the ACL injury, and then 2, more importantly, is this contract. He's 1 year, $5 million. I think we overpaid a little bit for him, to be honest. So I think we're like I said, trying to roll the dice and see if some of that talent comes out, and we kind of get a diamond in the rough here. So what do you think about these recent free agent additions? I'd like to hear what you have to say. Put your comments below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching and supporting this channel, and as always, go Raiders.